Today we are ditching the big cinema cameras and only filming with what's in our pockets. I have 6 ways to level up your mobile filmmaking game. And make sure you stay till the end because the final form will actually capture more detail than pretty much any mirrorless camera out there. Now, of course, for this video, we're gonna be using the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 6 Pro, but basically any modern smartphone should work for most of these setups. All right, so the first level is using what you have. So one pro of filming on your bare phone is you always have it on you. Taking videos is fast and easy. Smartphone cameras have become so good on their own. With multiple focal lengths and lenses, what you get out of the native apps are usually pretty good for social media and sharing. Now the con is the various lenses that you have built in are actually not all created equal, leaving you with inconsistent quality over your focal range, low light performance, and even color accuracy. Software limitations are also a factor. Native apps are supposed to be simple to use, so you rarely get some much needed pro features. So once you've grown tired of the basic settings that native cameras usually come with, you can try downloading a third-party app that's going to give you way more features. On Android and iOS, definitely one of the best is Filmic Pro, that's probably the most known. Also on iOS is Beastcam, which if you want 4K 60 ProRes, currently that's the only app on the market that can do that. These third-party pro apps will essentially give you more control over your shutter speed, ISO, white balance, and other various parts of the image that will give you the creative control over what you are filming. Now, a con of these apps is it doesn't actually solve the hardware limitations with lenses mentioned in level 1, and on iPhone, Apple doesn't really give the developers full access to everything involving the camera. So unfortunately, even when you set your camera settings exactly how you want it, you may still notice some exposure shifting due to Apple's weird HDR settings that constantly want to take over your image. Next up, we have my favorite everyday carry for iPhone, and that is the Light Chaser Pro by Polar Pro. Now, unfortunately, Polar Pro doesn't make any cases for Android phones, but if you have an iPhone 11, 12, or 13, you can pick up a Light Chaser Pro. The thing that I absolutely love about the Light Chaser is, one, it's just a great case. I use it every day, but within a matter of seconds, you can add some pretty cool accessories like this snap-on side grip handle, which gives you a Bluetooth shutter. And if it starts to get a little sunny out, you have different types of filters like this variable ND, and boom, awesome setup in the matter of seconds. But let's say maybe you're working on a mobile film or you're doing something a little more intense than just your everyday carry sort of thing. This is the Beastcage Pro for iPhone 13. It's an absolute tank. It gives you full protection of your phone in a solid metal case, and it is littered with quarter 20s, allowing you to mount anything you want. Currently, I just have one handle, but you could have 2 handles on the side, one on top, or one of my favorite options if you really want to step things up, that's a microphone. And now you have a setup that's much more ergonomic, has way more features, and a lot more durable. And if you're wondering what this is on the front, this is B-Script's brand new 1.33x anamorphic Mark II. We've got a whole video coming about that probably next week, so if you're interested, get subscribed. But if you don't want this lens, you can pretty much mount any other B-Script, Kenko, Moment, almost any other mobile filmmaking lens out there. All right, so the next way to level up your mobile filmmaking actually has nothing to do with the physical hardware of your phone. It is the music that you use in your videos. Music is something that I've been really trying to work on the past couple of months. Find music that makes sense for each video and each part of the video to develop whatever sort of mood or style you're trying to create visually. And today we're doing that with audio. If you're truly tired of hearing kind of the same repetitive YouTube songs over and over, audio has an entirely massive music and sound effects library that gets new stuff every single day. One of my favorite things about audio is been extremely mobile friendly, and that way when I'm on the go and I want to randomly get inspired for the next YouTube video, I can check out what's new in their libraries, check out the various different playlists. It's not only important to me to get licensed for YouTube monetization, but as a freelance filmmaker, also I want licenses for commercial, broadcast, theatrical releases. Audio's got you covered everywhere. And right now they are actually doing something super intense, and that is giving 70% off your first year with Audio Pro, $59 for the entire year. They've already been used by some of the top creators and brands around the world like Nike, Toyota, Nintendo. So if you want to check out what Audio is all about and get your 70% off, check out all the links in the description, as well as use the coupon code Michael70. Thanks to Audio for sponsoring this video, and let's move on to the next setup. And here we have our final form. This is the B-Script Pro with the Google Pixel 6 Pro. A lot of pros there. We have our lens of choice, which is the B-Script 2x telephoto lens. I love this as a portrait lens. And then we have an Angelbird Pocket to Go 1 TB SSD mounted on top. And the reason we have that plugged into the phone is because we are using the Motion Cam app, which allows you to film in raw DNG. Now, I actually made a whole dedicated video on the Motion Cam app. You can check that out up here. But essentially, raw DNG captures the uncompressed version of what the sensor can capture. The codec itself is pretty much a pain to work with, but it truly gives you a glimpse as to what phones can truly capture if you got past all of the crazy compression that native and third-party apps traditionally do. Now, of course, that quality comes at a price, and that price is storage. And nearly about 5 gigs per 20 seconds of capture, you're gonna wanna offload onto an SSD. Thankfully, Android makes that super easy. Now, the only downside is you can't record straight to the SSD itself. You have to capture to your internal storage. And then once you've captured it, you can export it to an external drive. Make sure you select that option to delete after export, so that way it deletes it off your internal storage. But definitely, if you plan on using Motion Cam a lot, you're gonna want a phone with a big internal drive. Once you get past the crazy workflow though, the quality is unmatched. The amount of color grading you can do for this footage, the amount of low light performance it gives you. Of course, the downside is that this is an Android only app. The closest you're going to get on the iPhone is ProRes, which is awesome in itself, but it is nowhere near the uncompression of raw DNG. And that's what makes this the ultimate setup and the final form of mobile filmmaking for 2022. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe.